Okay, people, blessed love. So we did part one, so we're going to part two of the invention. All right, the Jamaican that invent and use running water to operate this car. Something else. So let's pick up where we left off. All right, here we go.
All the time. And these are things that have been given to us by God for us to live. So it is for us to create ways from these things to make a living and for life to be easier for everyone. H2 Flex is the thing to use. H2 Flex is the way to go. H2 Flex is the changer. H2 Flex is what will bring the change to the nation, to the world. H2 Flex will reduce poverty. There's no question about it. H2 Flex will increase wealth.
I remember the same thing taximan and busman said. That's how it goes, you know. Yeah, man. If I just spend money like we, you know. You on the street. It's smart. We have it. We have it. Yeah, man. We treat car and that. You ever said that we want it? We need it. Yeah, man. I really think about it. Really.
All right, so who really is this Harlow Main, and where on earth did he garner his talents? In this segment, we'll try and find out.
Simon asked, but I'm going to ask again. Who are you, Harlow Main? Please, convince us you're not an alien. Tell us about your upbringing as a child.
I was born in Falmouth Hospital, and I grew up partly in Trelawney and partly in the United States. Also, before I got to the United States, I also grew up in Vineyard Town, spent some time there, and a few other places in Kingston here. And everybody was surprised that I was able to draw without nobody teaching me. It just came naturally to me. I used to love drawing. I'm always drawing planes and all kind of different kind of product that I saw. Cars, I draw that a lot, But my drawing was kind of a abstract drawing, which I still do till this very day. But I've been doing that since I was around 2.
We asked if he had any mentors who guided him and or inspired him in his pursuits, and the answer was flatly no. So, when did this habit of inventing begin?
That never faded. It never really increased either. My drawing is still with me today, where I draw products that looks like, say for instance, a phone that I'm trying to come up with a new way of using it. I would draw the phone itself and then going into the background to try to find the chips, the processors and so forth, how the phone's gonna look, how it's gonna handle, and so on and so forth. I still do that till this very day. I've been doing that since I was young, very young.
He would play a few normal games as a child, however his social interactions were divided between his beautiful mind and his human friends.
Well, yes, I live a more seclusive life. I was always by myself doing this kind of research and development. So I read a lot, I watch news a lot back then, and try to find where problems are and how I could solve them.
His school life in Jamaica only involved a basic school in Trelawney before he left the island. But even before he left Jamaica, his grandmother and his relatives noticed something strange.
My grandmother, she was very excited at a early age, at a early stage in time when I was around 2 years old. And she was surprised that I could draw something that detailed. In fact, it was a plane. She actually took that picture and framed it, that drawing, and framed it. But other family members were very surprised as well as far as my talent and the stuff I can do. You know, they were very supportive of my drawings because my drawings were actually unique and they were product drawings, so they were always product I can put on the market.
So, what was his first invention?
Peanut vending machine that when you go to the movie theater, so you would see, you would be able to buy hot roasted peanut from a vending machine that's shaped like a peanut, like a big peanut, with eyes and mouth and, you know. So, right, I was doing those drawing as a teenager, and that wasn't really a drawing. Those were invention work, because that never existed and still doesn't exist till this very day. There's no peanut vending machine, hot roasted peanut vending machine. You can't find that except for the on-card person who pushed that vending machine with the whistle on it. Other from that, that technology still doesn't exist except on paper, and I got the patent for that.
From that moment, the floodgates opened up, and Harlow Main never stopped inventing.
If I picked up something, say like a toothbrush, and I did not like the way it feel in my hand, I would try to draw something better and try to make something better. So I always start out with the drawing, and then try to carve it out of wood or something to get the feel of it. And I did do so with the trifold toothbrush. That was when I was a teenager. I do have battery technology, and the battery technology is a battery that cannot run out, cannot be, as long as there's water. So I don't want to go into it deeply as yet because it's tied into another invention that I currently have out. But this battery technology would be able to run, say, a family of 5, family of 4, for about a month. A house, yes. And it could also run large buildings, no matter the size, of water. So it's a type of, it's an hydrogen battery, put it that way. Right, so it would turn the water into electricity, not unlike fuel cell. I don't know if you know a fuel cell, but right, it's not unlike that. It's not very similar to it either. Okay, one of my first early product was, as I mentioned, the hot roasted peanut vending machine. It was too technical at the time, too much electronics involved, and it was very expensive to manufacture. Another product was the toothbrush. It wasn't really a toothbrush, but it was a complete oral care set with tongue scraper, tartar scraper, dental mirror, floss, everything attached to that one case, which is also the handle. So that was an early multi-purpose oral care kit that I came up with. It was actually 12 piece. Nobody still have that on the market. I also have a toothbrush bristles that instead of making them straight up, I crisscrossed them a little bit so they could get rid of plaques between the teeth. And that bristles is on sale now by Oral-B, which is now owned by Gillette Company, or some other company bought them out, Procter & Gamble, I believe.
He continued to design, wowing those around him as he went.
It was a mop. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly, but it was designed to help senior citizens people who are handicapped or who are challenged, physically challenged, to help stay in the house and clean, clean the house. So this mop would do the ringing automatically and so on and so forth. It does a lot of things. That Yeah, by the press of a button. It was an electronic product, so it got a little motor in it and batteries and so forth. So when you press a button, it would ring out the water. It would also vibrate in the water to rings. So there's nothing you have to do but put it in the water and press a button. So it would ring and then ring by itself.
Off camera at this point, Harlomain told us an incredible story about an extremely useful invention he had created, which caused the highest planetary authorities to clamp down on his work. He would not allow us to share the grandness of the technology with our viewers. This is all he would say.
Right, and I also have a technology which I can't mention about except that it was into the medical field. And that was a challenge. I can't speak much about that one.
Can you speak about its use?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
I can't speak about the use of it. I did read into serious.
Is it now in use?
No, it's not.
Okay. Why is it that you can't speak about it?
I can't speak about that either.
Okay. Will it be in use?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you in talks with medical authorities and so on to have it approved for use?
No, I got in trouble for it, so I got in serious trouble for that. So.
What kind of trouble? They were saying that you were making something that could be used in a negative way? Or?
No, could be used in a positive way.
Right.
Right. It would be used in a positive way, a very positive way. But it's a disruptive technology.
Right.
And a disruptive technology is usually something that disrupt the way how the medical field is run. And they don't want any of that.
That's interesting. And this pressure that you received was from whom? From what kind?
I won't say the kind of pressure from whom,
Okay.
but the pressure is there,
Okay.
and it's still there.
His desire to find alternate sources of energy began before the water car. He thought that the lopsided design of common windmills, such as those at the Wigton Wind Farm, were inefficient and far too frail to handle the kinds of wind that would generate real power.
And this one is a new kind of wind turbine, a powerful new wind turbine to alleviate this energy crisis that's here in Jamaica. It's still not it's still in development.
And what would be so different about his turbine?
Okay, it's very different because the current wind turbine they have now have to sit on a pole, and the pole can only withstand a certain weight of the wind turbine, and the wind turbine is usually magnet generator, and they're very heavy. What we should be doing today, we have a different way of creating a wind turbine system without that pole. We could put windmill, for instance, on a large skyscraper. I won't say more about the technology because it's not yet patented, but my technology would be much more powerful than the current technology.
Harlomain is truly special and celebrated by the few people that know him.
No, that's the excited part about it for me. The excited part for me is the Jamaican contribution to it. Because I'm so used to hearing of the bad news coming out of Jamaica. And to see a news that has this global effect, it's exciting. I'm excited about it.
This guy is a self-taught, brilliant person. If you really boil it down to that, was just sat there, with material and educated himself and experimented and worked on this project and others, but this one for about 5 years. And it has worked in the sense that this man has now gotten a full patent from the United States Patent Office to produce this thing worldwide.
You know, it's not easy to raise support for creative ventures, especially those that impact other major industries. As a result, challenges are real. So too are death threats. What's the future for this powerful technology? Now, for the final segment, here, once again, is Samuel Gordon.
You don't smell no pollution or nothing. When you pass, you don't smell no pollution.
Is it clean enough for me to put my nose down to it and smell it?
Yeah, man, it's clean enough. You put your nose, not even your eye now burning or nothing. When you put your face or your tailpipe, you don't I get no pollution from it.
So this vehicle is now being revved, which means the exhaust is coming out at, wow, a much higher rate. It's actually pushing my hand away. And I'm told that this is clean. I'm told that I can put my nose right down and inhale everything that comes out of this vehicle as it is water vapor. I'm gonna try. No, I won't deny it is slightly warm, but it is as fresh as the air that I am breathing right now. This vehicle is a new step. This is a new day. It is indeed a new day. Our team caught up with co-founder of Cure, Richard Dickey Crawford, to get his perspective on this new technology. Incidentally, Crawford had already been contacted by Harlow Maine and was integrally involved in assisting him in the process of gaining funding for the valuable project.
Minister Hilton, as well as Minister Philip Paulwell, endorsed the project and gave their strong support that if all of the particulars that are required by the bank can be satisfied, they would love to see the project go ahead. He also went to the Scientific Research Council, and that's a good place to have gone to. And the SRC, we spoke to them as well, and I think that they have positively responded with a grant to him to get his program moving. I don't think we are at the point where we can say everything has been 100% complete and everything is in place. But I think we are at a point where we can say thanks to Development Bank of Jamaica, thanks to Paulwell, thanks to Tony Hilton, thanks to Scientific Research Council. And if it goes the way I'm thinking and hoping it will go, then I think we have a winner on our hands.
Wow. Well, we surely did not expect that news. And Live at 7 will be following up to find out whether or not Maine will receive the support that is being promised to him. But we still wanted to ask Mr. Crawford why new technology and creative industries in Jamaica don't get more support. He had an anecdote for us.
Some time ago, somebody came to me and said, listen, I have a product here that can cut down the cost of JUTC using diesel and the cost to the company, its operating costs. So can you get me a meeting to see if I can get through to the company? And he got the runaround for the longest while possible, you know. So sometimes vested interests always block people, young people, entrepreneurs, inventors, people who want to change. And this thing has the potential to be a multi-million-dollar enterprise for Harlow and his team. And it also has the possibility of changing the equation in the energy industry and all like that.
Crawford also confirmed our worst fears about politics in Jamaica.
People don't like to take chances on long-term development. They want to win the next election. So you always delay fixing the water supply. You delay solar energy because next thing the election come and you're in the middle and you don't get the credits and you get voted out. So that's what is confronting us.
Crawford, however, has been thoroughly impressed by the work ethic and attitude of Harlow Main.
We have our legend, Bob Marley, Usain Bolt. You have a Harlow Main over in that side in science and technology. I just don't know where this guy came from. I mean, to be very frank with you, in the interviews with one of the banks, every recommendation that was made by the bankers, you know, he just responded positively. You never got the thing, well, this is mine, I invented it, and therefore, he said, no, well, if that can work, I'll go back to the drawing board and come back to you.
And as for peak oil, does Dickie believe that it's just another myth, or is it real?
In Dubai and everywhere else, I mean, in all the oil-rich countries, when you say oil-rich kingdoms shifting to solar power, you know something is up. So they have all the oil, they have all the money in the world, but they know the oil is going to finish within a certain period of time. So they are making alternative energy provisions, and that says a lot. Everybody knows it's going to happen, and therefore anything that can reduce the consumption of oil will prolong the supply, number one, and anything that can reduce the cost is going to be useful for everybody.
The Dubai Supreme Council of Energy unveiled the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Solar Park at the World Future Energy Forum in Abu Dhabi. The park is one of the first major initiatives of the council and is expected to generate 1,000 megawatts of power.
In our travels with Harlow Main, we also met the owner of the vehicle in which the Mainix prototype has been installed.
Whether I'm running to the bank, whether I'm running to a job, whatever it is, recreational, whatever it is, I have a peace of mind. I don't have to worry about not having any cash in my pocket to buy gas. All I have to do is just ensure that I have adequate water and I can take on the world. I've been driving with my tank on E for quite a while. As you can see, not just now, not just today, not just yesterday, the day before, and the day before, and the day before. My needle remains where it is. When you're driving a vehicle and you see your gas light, your gas gauge keep reducing, and you know you have not accomplished what you need to, and you do not have cash to further put gas in your car, it can be very scary. It can be very scary if you're running out of gas at any point while you're on the road. To have a vehicle that is operated by water.
People, that's amazing, man. Just look at that car driving and know there's just water.
Because as Jamaica,
not
we are
gas.
such a warm set of people.
Wow.
That you can stop anywhere along the road and ask someone for a jug of water, and they will assist you.
Our journeys carried us to the technician who assisted Harlow in figuring out how to compress and contain the hydrogen gas to make the product safe. He too is an inventor in his own right.
Well, I meet him through associate bad, which I'm a technician. What we I do all the work for them, whether camera, TV, VCR, computer, whatever. I make the input of the amp for them. So what I'm at now, he came to me saying that they buy this model from China and it's been this damaging every time them assembly it broke down it damage. So with that now he asked me to intervene when I check it the source was improper. So I have to configure it for it to perform in the appropriate way. Yeah, because it was costing a few $1,000 as well. Because I was got to repair parts for it again and again and again and again. So they brought to me and I'm in that fault. Just not seeing it, believing, but they would have to test it. They would have to try it. And I think this thing will be passed by the Bureau of Standard to be safe, regulation to be safe. So with every new development, all these products are tested and passed. So they don't be fear of it might cause any cause of harm anyway then. You know, it'll be a safety.
And finally, on our way back to CDM Studios, we took a trip to Jagus, the German automotive school, where we came across yet another member of Harlow's organically created team, this time a chemist.
Well, actually, it was one night going home, a friend called me for him to explain it to me because he needed some assistance. So when he explained it to me, well, actually, he explained the reaction first. And actually, I actually formulated that chemical formula for the reaction instantaneously. So he's saying that, hey, you know that you are the right person for this, for assisting me. So I'm saying, okay. So the other day I went to his home and he showed me it, and I'm saying, okay, because it's so straightforward to me because I'm a chemistry person. So it's like fixing a puzzle, a picture puzzle. So it was so simple. And then, well, actually at first we came in contact with a minor problem in which, because the reaction take place with the main ingredient, which is aluminum, and the metal in which he had was not aluminum. So I had to state that this was not aluminum. So we had to take that out of the equation and get aluminum. And after that, everything is A-OK.
The crowd gathered as we conducted our interview. Mr. Phillips, a senior instructor at the German Automotive School, was blown away.
You know, this blew my mind, just blew my mind knowing that, you know, I can use water to drive my car around, and we can use this to do a lot more, because they say you can cook with it, you can operate other things with it, you cannot run your house with it. So, I mean, this is the next level.
The students were equally as excited and encouraged by the visit of Harlow, Maine to the automotive school.
Well, I would definitely like to see the energy minister putting a little bit more funding in technology like this. This would benefit Jamaica and put us a little bit further on the market. And we probably take a step further into where we need to go in the future.
As the crowd gathered, even the police joined in on the action. They engaged the Mainex team with great excitement. They didn't want us to show their faces on camera, but they were on location for over 10 minutes asking questions.
This product will make Jamaicans not want to thief light again. Because every man can have a unit. The more units that are sold, the cheaper the units become. And persons can have their own unit, because this unit has the capacity to produce electricity as well. In the same form that it is, it can produce electricity. So a man doesn't have a thief light anymore. He can hook up his own light off his unit using water and running it and paying for this light bill.
And how do we end a feature like this? With hope, with anticipation, and with joy that the future of Jamaica is bright. Here's to another great Jamaican in the person of Harlow, Maine.
This can happen this year, where we don't have enough petrol, we don't have enough fuel for our transportation. To avoid this from happening, people can go to Mainex and sign up, and where we can see there's a demand for it, and we'll put the product into production. In fact, we'll be able to pressure the banks to show them that there is real demand. People actually need this technology. And if we can show these numbers, then the bank would be willing to lend us these funds that we need to manufacture the product.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
All right, that's it for Live at 7 this evening. We're off to enjoy the celebrations of our nation's birth, but...
Wow. That's all I can say, man, is wow. See, Jamaica have more than a bright future. Look at that. Look at that group of young men. The inventor, you have the chemist, you have the this, you have the that, and all of them combine together and do that. With one man come up with the idea. So you see that Jamaica don't have to be in the position where it is right now because we got talent there. And all they need to do is invest in those children, in those youths. Invest in them. The scripture says the youth of today will be the man and woman of tomorrow. And I say it already and I'll say it again. Politicians don't have to live in Jamaica after their term is over. But the poor people them down there have to live there. We cannot let all these people come into our country and take it over when we have potential. We have more than potential. More than potential. When I hear the speech of Omar Johnson went down there and, you know, the things that he said, I heard that Chinese built an highway down there called Beijing Highway in my country. In my country. My island, I should say. So it's not for us anymore. No matter what nobody say. If this continue, I did the video 6 months ago. If this continue, we will not have a Jamaica in 5 to 10 years if the government don't invest in the future. The future is there staring you right in the face. The lift out of poverty is there. Look at that invention. Look at that invention. And he's also talking about a battery that can power your house, that can never run out as long as there is water. Come on, come on, come on. We cannot let the Americans, the Russians, the Germans, the English, everybody come and take this guy away. They will come because they got the money. But if we show the support and the love, if the government put that in there, you hear some of the school kids that were saying on the side, that's what there's things like that they're supposed to invest in. There's a lot of youths down there in Jamaica right now that have some brain, some talent that can do some excellent things. And they need to invest in these youths. And if they don't, Jamaica is gone, gone. And as I can hear a lot of things, Chinese will take it over. Not go take it over. Chinese already take it over. Jamaican must have about a percentage left. Because every time Chinese do something, they want something. And they're not giving us nothing. All I can hear is that they're building business and they're doing this and they're doing that. And I hear people say, oh, they all came there poor, but in space of 3 years they have buildings and wherever. No, they may look poor when they come there, but they ain't poor. Okay? They may look that way, but they ain't poor.